still have some farms. You still have some nice little farms. You still have a little miniature industry. Cranberries are still an industry that's strong.
Henry Hall was a sea captain, and how he discovered the cranberry was during the War of 1812, the British had our coast blockaded, and so he improved his time by cutting some trees down on his property, which it turned out had been a buffer between his cranberry bog. In the old days they called them a cranberry yard. And the wind blew the sand onto the cranberry bog and covered it with sand. And he thought it probably was ruined. But the next time the season came around for the cranberries that had been covered with sand were much bigger and had better flavor than the ones that had not been covered. And that's how the cultivated cranberry industry was begun, really by accident.
We don't exactly know what the progression between that time and 1847, when the sea captains over here in Howard's got together to actually start an industry, a cranberry industry, which was a boon to the Cape Codders that lived in the vicinity of any of the bogs that were started, because it gave them an opportunity to be able to earn some money.
Most Cape Cod sea captains had a cranberry bog or two or three that they made money with.
Whole families would go out into the bogs at harvest time and help with the harvest. Schools would close until the harvest was in. Men and women used to pick with their fingers, and they'd pick into measures and then bring them up to the shore and toss them into the barrels and so forth. And then somebody got the bright idea that they could make a scoop that would be like fingers and could comb the berries out of the vine. So then they started using hand scoops to comb the berries off the vine. And then, of course, as man will do, he invented a machine that had a motor on it. And that also had the comb-like fixture on the bottom of it that could comb through the vines and pick them up and mechanically put them into a container. The dry berries are used for fresh fruit. They go right into the market in packages the way you can buy them as a consumer. The wet berries are processed. They go into juices and sauces rather than in a fresh berry form. What we do is we flood the bog just above the tops of the vines, and we bring in our water harvesting machine, the water reel, and the berries float, but they're still attached to the vine, and so the water reel snaps them off, hits the water and snaps the berries off so that they're loose and floating. Then we have what we call boom boards that the men take out and attach to each other, and they bring them in big circles. And they can make the circle as big as they want to by attaching as many boom boards as they have. Then two men drag it around and form it into a circle. So you've corralled your berries up into a certain place, usually on the windward side. You park your truck over there that you're going to load, and the wind will help you. And you pull your berries into that particular spot where you've left the truck, corral them up, and then you open up the gate so that it can go up onto a conveyor that goes up into the truck. And the men just keep pushing, and up they go and into the truck. We fill up the truck and away it goes.